How dare they exclude a Christian? How can they tell me that I'm not allowed to worship God like them just because I'm in a different church? And my anger is rising and rising. I'm starting to hate all Greeks. And then this really old man starts walking down the path. And I look at the monk I was talking to, and he said, "That is Elder Efrem. This is the man, the holy man, who established 18 monasteries in the United States." Once he gave his blessing to me, I was overcome by just happiness. I started smiling. I've never seen a man as holy as that. There's a lot of cacti here. They look just like the ones in the Wile E. Coyote cartoons. I'm in St. Anthony's Monastery, and my visit didn't start so well. I wanted to attend the Vespers. This is an evening prayer. It's about 2 hours long, I think. So I came ready to worship God there. And the monk said, the monk I talked to said, since you're Armenian Orthodox, you have to hang out in the narthex, not in the main hall of a church. And the narthex is like the hallway. And I tried, but through the glass and the door, I couldn't hear or see anything. And then it was useless. So I left. I walked out, and I was starting to get upset. And I was like, screw this. Screw everybody here. Screw the Greeks. I am going home. And by home, I mean the next hotel that I have to stay in. But then I thought, well, while I'm here, let me at least get some footage for my vlog. So I walked around a bit, but as I was walking around filming, I was getting heated. How dare they exclude a Christian? How can they tell me that I'm not allowed to worship God like them just because I'm in a different church, just because my beard is more full? I mean, this is totally exclusionary. I'm a Christian. And my anger is rising and rising. I'm starting to hate all Greeks. And then I decided, okay, that's enough filming. It's time to go. I'm not going to tell anybody to come here. And then I'm starting to walk out. And who do I run into but the same monk who said that I can't go in? And I'm like, I hope he says something to me. And he did. He said, how was the Vespers? I said, well, it was hard to enjoy it through the wall and the glass, so I left. And I said, I've been to a lot of monasteries. I've been to now 4. This is the first time I was excluded, that I was not allowed to worship God. And he kind of said, well, you're allowed to worship God, just not there. That didn't make things better. And I was thinking, man, I was heated. I started arguing with the monk in the monastery. I was like telling him, no, I was excluded. This is really hurtful stuff, man. You didn't, whatever rules you have, I abide by them. I obey your rules, but it felt to me wrong. And he was starting to get into the theological basis of why this is and the church histories, and I don't want to hear it. And I'm just, in respect to him, I was just, trying not to blow my top. And then this really old man starts walking down the path. He had to be helped by another monk. And I turned to him, and I look at the monk I was talking to, and he said, that is Elder Efrem. This is the man, the holy man, who established 18 monasteries in the United States. Spiritual father to dozens and hundreds. I mean, he is destined for sainthood. And I went up to him, I touched the ground, and I put my hands out. He put his right hand in my palm, and I kissed his hand, and I received his blessing. And I looked at him, and he was really old, but he had this, it was like a high contrast glow. Like he stood out, like his contrast, the contrast on his skin is different than anyone else's. It was high. It was like a little glow to it. And when he gave his blessing to me, I was extremely angry because I couldn't attend the Vespers in the main church hall. Once he gave his blessing to me, I was overcome by just happiness. I started smiling. And the monk I was talking to after we separated from the elder, the monk I was talking to was still going into the theological basis of separating the Armenian Orthodox, blah, blah, blah. I didn't care anymore. I was just in a contentful stupor. I was smiling. And the monk said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I can see you're having a moment." What was I angry about? I've never seen a man as holy as that. You just get overcome because you know he dedicated his life to Christ totally. Totally. Wow. And me and the monk, we started talking. And I said I was going to go, I guess the bookstore was closed. And he said, "Well, I can open it up." And so he walked me in, and then we went on to have a very lovely half an hour chat. I told him, or maybe longer than that. He recommended a book. I forgot the name. It's a book written by Elder Efrem. And I bought an icon. I was looking for the Ladder of Divine Ascent. I've been looking for this icon, and I found it. It is here. So me and the monk talked. I told him some things, some spiritual battles that I was going through. We talked about different forms of grace. How I was giving grace in a big boost, a big shot in the arm, but he said for other people, it's a step by step. So I need to understand that, because I don't meet a lot of people who receive the kind of grace that I have. So then all my anger subsided totally. I bought some books. I bought something for my mom. And yeah, I can walk out of here happy that I was blessed by a very, very holy man. And, I caught him at this time. There was only one other man there, so it was very quiet. I could absorb his essence. And God bless him. And God bless all the men here who have dedicated their lives to Jesus Christ.